Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Lord Draugr. Thank you so much for that. I'm sorry if I've just butchered your damn name. Draugr. I'm sorry about that, man. And thank you for your patience. Same with everyone else. Thank you for your patience. I'm trying to get these out as soon as I can. But thank you all for your generosity. I really appreciate it. If anyone wants to request any other type of movie reviews or re-reviews or topics or tier lists or rankings or whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for a Nightwing fan series, which I guess was around 2014, and I had never heard of this before. It was 5 episodes. But when I say episodes, one may be 8 minutes long, one may be 7 minutes long, one may be 10 minutes long. So overall, it's probably maybe less than an hour if you put it all together. It's on the YouTube channel Ismahawk, ISMAHAWK, Ismahawk. And I thought this was good. I mean, for a fan film, for a fan series, I should say, this was good. And considering I just saw Superman Solar, which came out recently, this was over 10 years ago, and this was a lot better acted, better handled, better story, much better than Superman Solar or Spider-Man Lotus. Much better. I thought the guy who played Nightwing, Danny Shepard, did a capable job. I wouldn't say grade A, but he did a fairly capable job acting. And whether him or the doubles, I mean, good acrobatics. The fight scenes were either good or serviceable. I kind of wish we saw Nightwing fight more, because most of the fight we see is from Deathstroke, although I did like it. So it would have been nice to see Nightwing fight other random bad guys a bit more. But this was pretty good. I mean, it's like I said, each one is about either 8 to 10 minutes or 7 to 10 minutes. The last one, part 5, is about 15 minutes. But that is a chunk of the back end is end credits to show who all was part of the production, or I forget if they used Kickstarter or something to that effect. But I mean, the costumes look really good. The people look like they actually cared about a bit of the fighting. Sometimes the lighting would bother me, because sometimes there'd be either some lens flares. In the episode 5, there's a bit where Nightwing finally fights some people, and there's this light in the background that sometimes made it not the best look. Because this light would be in the back and kind of, if not quite glare the viewer, but just hinder the visual aspect of the scene. But overall, I thought this definitely was made by people who did care. Definitely feel the heart put into this. Because in part 1, there's this party for a senator. Someone comes on an elevator, and it's Deathstroke. Very cool outfit that they got there. The voice seemed like it would fit someone playing Deathstroke. And pretty much it's him killing and beating the shit out of guards. Now, sometimes I would wonder why he would go hand in hand, because he has a gun. Because he's fine with shooting, but then he'll go hand in hand, then he'll just shoot them anyway. I'm like, well, then why are you doing that? Like, if you just shoot them, shoot them. Why do you, like, sometimes shoot, then sometimes go hand in hand, then sometimes shoot, sometimes go to hand in hand? It's not like you're out of bullets that you gotta fight. It's like, fuck you, I'll just do hand in hand. Fuck you, I'll just shoot you. Now, it was just, for those who are into Deathstroke, and is very knowledgeable of the character, is that part of the characters, what he does? But I mean, I think for a fan bit that's 10 or so years ago, it's actually nicely choreographed. I mean, he's beating the fuck out of them. He's stabbing the shit out of one. He'll hit someone, then shoot up, so it'll go. Now, yes, there is digital blood. Now it's a fan film, fan stuff, so I'm willing to give it a little bit leeway compared to something that has hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. That'll give less leeway. I mean, hell, John Wick, and I love the first three, but John Wick films have digital blood and no blood squibs, so that I'd be more harsh on. Here it's like, okay, I get it. But I don't mind the outfit, the choreography. I don't know why he just randomly will use a gun whenever he feels like it, but maybe that's part of his character, I don't know. But I thought it was a fun scene to introduce just how dangerous Deathstroke is. And then, spoiler alert, from here on, I would say if you like the Nightwing character, if you're into this fan film stuff, again, it's in 5 parts, very digestible, 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 minute intervals. Again, there's only 5 of them, 5 parts, 5 episodes. It'll take you less than an hour to watch all of them. Definitely worth it. You tell they did put some love into this. But pretty much after he beats the fuck out of these guys, kills these guards, there's the senator, does a switch, and when he's walking towards the camera, in the back you see the guy's head fall off. And then we're introduced to Danny Shepard as Dick Grayson, Nightwing, and he gets some information. He's sharpening one of his batarangs, and someone in a wheelchair appears. Now, if you know Batman lore, you know who that is. Dr. B. Charles Xavier, because that's the wrong universe. Eventually, you don't know it's Barbara. But then episode 2, we find out the origins. Dick Grayson with Barbara Gordon. I thought the actors did fine. Especially the girl who played Barbara. I thought she acted fairly natural. I played Dick Grayson. Again, one of the head guys of this production, he did fine. I wasn't really that bothered by him or his acting. I thought he was very capable. Again, not great, fantastic. Maybe rough around the edges, little bits here and there, but overall, commendable. At least to me. Compared to, trust me, watch Superman Solar and how that guy tries to act as Superman. You look at that acting, then look at this guy's acting. Trust me, this guy, he much better than the guy. Why you compare the two? Because they're both DC, and they're both fan films, fan stuff. And I think that one had 20,000, and this had 30,000. But that was like 20-some minutes. This overall was 50 minutes or so, like if you add all together, 45, 50 minutes. And it had better acting and better production. It was better made. But yeah, Grayson and Barbara are an item. I'll be back in an hour. Bruce is calling me. Barbara opens the door. There's the Joker and kind of the outfit he had in the Killing Joke with the camera and kind of the... Like he's ready to go to the beach. Shoots. Done in slow-mo. Done in dramatic fashion. Seems like she dies because we see her gravesite. Bruce Wayne tossed to Grayson. And Batman's a D-bag. He's a fucking dick. He's a fucking dickhead. You sound like a child. But I'm like, wow, you sound like a fucking dick. Now, granted, he does apologize in another part. Part 4. So there's a reason for it, but it's like, damn, this guy. And the guy who plays Bruce Wayne, he's there. I'm kind of at 50-50 on him. He's there. I wouldn't sadly go, oh, that's Batman or Bruce Wayne, but he's there. I've seen better. I've seen worse. I do like the line when Grayson, he's ready to leave, he's done with this, and he goes, I hope you treat Jason better than you treated me. Now, of course, that's Jason Todd. And if you know Batman lore, you know eventually, and they show a little bit in part, they show little bits of, especially part 3. Well, part 4, more, I would say more so in part 4, that Jason got the shit kicked out of him, beaten up by the Joker. Then later on, you had the Under the Red Hood. Well, that's a movie, but that whole thing. And of course, you find out that Barbara is in the wheelchair. So then you get to part 3, where Grayson's like, you've been alive this whole time, but you forgot to mention to me. You and Bruce lied to me. So it makes sense he's pissed about it. She wants to help. He's like, stay out of my way. You can't really blame him because you two were together as an item, tissy face and all. Then you faked your death. You don't want to tell him. I think they said it's been like 3 years or so. Yeah, I can't really blame him. And pretty much this one, he goes to the club where Deathstroke's at. And he fights a little bit, then he fights Deathstroke, and he's too cocky, and he gets the shit kicked out of him. Someone saves him. That's where we get to part 4, where he wakes up. He thinks Batman saved him. He's like, no, I didn't. I'm not even here. He's with the Justice League. It's a hologram. He apologized for his behavior. You were right to leave, and I was upset. Oh, I couldn't beat him. Hey, it's okay. Remember, you're a detective. That's what we are. That's what we do. I like that. I like the idea of reminding that you're a detective. That's what makes you guys special. I like that motif. I like that Bruce Wayne does apologize for being a D-bag. Again, I'm not 100% on him, on this Bruce Wayne. But I mean, again, I've seen worse as well. It's I could take it or leave it. And he gets bad with Barb, as in talking to her, uses detective skills, remembers that Deathstroke had these dog tags, finds out that it's Slade Wilson is his name. Back to the day, had a connection with the guy who's the mayor. And he says bye to Barbara, jumps off, he's going down. I hate when they do lens flares. Like when he's ready to jump off the balcony, you see this one lens flare like right here. Like about this level. I hate that shit. I don't know why people have that. Movies, fan films, it doesn't look that appealing to me. It's distracting because I'm looking at this and not at this. So instead I am looking at this thing, not at this thing. Take the lens flares out of it. Reshoot it. But the costumes and stuff do look really good. Then you get to part 5, which is named Legacy, where he fights a few. They're okay, but they're very, very quick. He does like one move. Like he throws one guy down, and he knees one guy, and what, you One Punch Man? Like, just takes you one, like, considering, like, my biggest critique of this, other than some of the lens flare stuff and the lighting, especially in this, where that's where you have the light in the back, there should be what they had for Deathstroke at the beginning, they should have had for Nightwing at the end, where there's a bunch of Deathstroke guys. Hell, just take, like, if you got all those guys for Deathstroke, get a bunch of guys for Nightwing to beat up. and show his skills and what he's capable of. This is the last part. Give him a big show, what he could do, and kick ass and take names, and then get up to Deathstroke. Not have these 3 or so guys and he beats them in like one punch or one knee or just one toss. I thought that was kind of Fights Deathstroke. Pretty decent fight in terms of, Nightwing. There's a lot of acrobatics being shown. Which makes sense because he was Robin, who was a trapeze artist, acrobatic. So it makes sense to have these nice flips and stuff, and cool acrobatic ability being shown. I like that. When he's fighting Deathstroke, he jumps off the wall and punches and gets some decent moves in there. He has this thing on his hand that's electrified, and then he gives his big punch, and the nice use of slow-mo, that the fuck you, knockout fuck you punch to Deathstroke. Nice bit of dramatic impact. I like that. I thought that was a nice touch. He defeated the guy, he's arresting the guy, and then someone shoots him. He wants to figure out who it is. Lo and behold, it's Jason Todd. And it's the Red Hood. Nice costume, outfit. Says, hey, stay out of my way. I'm going to do the same to you. Nightwing tells Barbara Jason Todd's alive. You find out Deathstroke, I'm guessing he got hit in the eye or something. He got hit, but he's still alive and he escaped. Which kind of makes that a bit pointless. Well, he did stop the crime from happening, so it's not pointless, to be fair. It's not pointless, but still. It definitely leaves room for other stuff to be done, and sadly, nothing ever came about it. They did a video, I looked it up, where we did this all for 30,000, so imagine if we had more and spread the word. Probably the word didn't spread far enough because it's 10 years later and nothing was done. Not a damn thing was done. Which is a shame. It's a shame because I thought this stuff was pretty good and kind of looked it up to see what else this guy has done. He's a producer, director, actor from Las Vegas. Sorry, just looking up stuff. 2025, he co-directed someone called Action Action. Him and Adam Kilborn. A crew attempts to steal Al Capone's painting from Vegas' Mob Museum. That's a full-length film. Did short films. He did 2 episodes of Death Battle. Oh, Nightwing vs. Daredevil. He was in that Death Battle. Nightwing vs. Daredevil. Huh. Cool. He was in some short films. 2019-2020 Red Hood the Fan series. That's Dick Grayson Nightwing. Huh. He was in a short film in 2018, Red Hooded, as Dick Grayson. So he's definitely very passionate about the character. Even years later, he played him in a few stuff. And I guess he worked in visual effects. Stuff I've never heard of, though. But visual effects artist, Take Me to Your... Okay, short films. Visual effects artist on something called The Bunker from 2024. Oh, there's a lot of stuff recently. Wolverine Lost Chapters, visual effects supervisor. Yeah, a lot of stuff I've never heard of. So, some short films, some stuff of that nature. But yeah, Sally's nothing ever came about with the. I mean, he obviously continued to do little things here and there, short films and stuff, but Sally, no sequel to this, like full official sequel to this, which is too bad. I mean, for what it was interesting to watch. I think they got the costumes right. Its heart was in the right place, and went through some of the big story points. Barbara getting paralyzed, becoming Oracle, Nightwing proving that he can take on someone like Deathstroke on his own, introducing the Red Hood, Jason Todd. That would have been a cool thing, Nightwing versus Red Hood. I do wish they would have showed Nightwing doing more action, more ass kicking, more. They should have showed something like that at the beginning to show what he's capable of. They did a good first impression of Nightwing. So they should have had a big fight scene with him. They do it with Deathstroke, okay, to show how menacing Deathstroke is. But then they should have done a counterpoint to show how worthwhile Nightwing is. And give a big impression of the hero. Or if you don't save it, then give a big impression of it at the end, and I don't think they gave enough of a big impression of him at the end. So I think they should have been, just like they did with Deathstroke at the beginning, they should have had a dozen or so people for Nightwing to beat up at the end here. And really get into the choreography. That's the big change I would do. I didn't, other than put in some lighting changes and stuff. But, I didn't mind the acting. I thought the guy, Danny Shepard, did fine as Nightwing. I thought the girl that played Barbara was good. The guy who played Deathstroke did fine. The costumes look really good. I keep repeating that. Hell, there's feature-length films that the costumes look like shit. The music, I thought they did a worthwhile job to show kind of the serious tone. It had a consistent tone. The guy who played Batman, again, I was 50-50 on him. I'm like, oh, okay. Just like, it's Batman. Like, you never see him in the suit as Bruce Wayne. It's like, you really got to have that it factor. This guy is kind of there. Who else? Jason Todd, okay. Nothing to blow my skirt up. I don't have any skirts, but didn't blow it up either. Yeah, other than that, I liked that. That was pretty good. And so much of a change of pace considering I did the last fan thing I saw was Superman Solar, which, holy shit, that was awful. Fucking awful in like every way. Here, though, the story actually felt like a story worth telling. And like I said, there's some decent bits of action and acrobatic abilities. Again, I just wish there was a lot more from Nightwing, the title character. But I didn't mind his fight with Deathstroke at the end. Yeah. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. If you're at all curious about the character, it's definitely worth a watch. And yeah, again, it's a shame that they did not get to do more. But it's definitely, like, compared to other fan films, definitely a capable production. Even the beginning where it's like, oh wow, okay. There's like a lot of people in this party with the senator, and okay, the fight scenes with Deathstroke actually decently choreographed, and the movements are pretty good, and yeah, again, the blood's digital, but yeah, I'll forgive it. And okay, like when he's there, Dick Grayson and sharpening the Batarang, okay, the way the camera's at and the way that scene is lit, not too bad, not too shabby. Okay, I mean, like I said, they definitely put some effort into this, which I can appreciate. So, and it wasn't some overlong, boring thing where people depressed for 30 fucking minutes like Lotus. Walk around for 15 minutes like this. Superman Solar, the people who made that, they should have seen this to show how you make it work, even on a fan film level. They should have watched this and taken notes. I know I keep harping about Superman Solar, but that was really fucking bad. But anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.